I think it's kind of it's kind of an attitude thing mostly, you know. I mean,
more than a gear thing, it's an attitude.
yeah, you know. I mean, it's like I always try to be nice to bands and have a good attitude, and then if I do that, I find bands have a good attitude to me. So I think that's kind of the big thing. And then as far as like gear and stuff, I mean, like a lot of sound guys will ask bands to turn down if they feel it's too loud, and you know, I feel it's more like kind of really depends on the band, you know. Like I'm not gonna tell some like doom metal band to like turn down their amps, you know what I mean? So, but I think bands should kind of like have their shit together before they show up at the club. Like have their tones dialed in, make sure they have good levels, you know. Like the drummer should have good heads and have the drums tuned well. And here's maybe like the really big thing, like a band should be ready so that when it's time for them to load on stage, they have all their gear set up and ready to be put on stage, you know. Not like when a drummer shows up, he should set up his drums before, you know what I mean? So when it's time for them to get on stage, they just load the drums on stage, and there you go, you know what I mean? And sometimes bands will be loading on, and like bass player will be over there having a drink, the drummer will be over there talking to some girl, and then they take all this time to load on, and a band should be aware that, you know, there's usually limited time to sound check, and they should just be ready to go on stage and do their sound check. And yeah, one time I almost got in an argument with a band because they would sound check, and then one person would sound check their instrument and then walk off stage. Then the other person would walk on stage, play their instrument, then walk off stage. And I was kind of like, hey guys, you know, why don't we all get on the same page, all get on stage, and sound check together, and then bust it out real quick. And then, yeah, apparently they weren't into doing that, you know, but
they're the ones that are going to suffer from that ultimately, because
yeah, especially with a monitor mix, you know, because if the drummer needs a certain monitor mix, and then the other instruments people playing the other instruments just walk off stage, how am I going to get the monitor mix for you know what I mean? It'll just make everything longer. So everyone should be ready to go for sound check, get all their gear on stage, bust it out, be aware of each other, like if, you know, not be like playing while another guy's trying to talk to the sound guy, you know what I mean? Like everyone should be, you know, work as a team.